Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Female pastor stabbed to death in alleged dispute with brother. A female pastor was stabbed to death on Monday night in an alleged dispute between her and her brother in Content St. Anne. She has been identified as 56-year-old Michelle Roach of Content in the parish. Grief-stricken relatives of Roach and residents of the community gathered at her home to mourn her untimely passing. The community members stated that the suspect is mentally ill. Lee Donaldson's blood found on curtains, sneakers inside boyfriend's apartment, court told. The Home Circuit Court heard that DNA, a toothbrush belonging to social media influencer Lee Donaldson, matched forensic evidence found in the apartment of her boyfriend, Constable Noel Maitland. The prosecution indicated that bloodstains were found on curtains and on a pair of sneakers inside Maitland's Chelsea Manor St. Andrew apartment. The court heard that Donaldson's mother, Sophia Long, who is in court, handed over the toothbrush to investigators, and forensics analysis was conducted against bloodstain collected inside the apartment. Maitland, who is charged with murder, was hit with the additional charge of preventing the lawful burial of a corpse. A bail application is expected to be heard from Maitland's attorney, Christopher Towson. The father arrived in the courtroom at 11:55 a.m. just before the break. The bail hearing resumed at 12:10 p.m. Donaldson was last seen at Constable Maitland's New Kingston apartment on July 11. She was reported missing on July 13. The police had indicated that investigations concluded that Donaldson was killed on July 12 between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Meanwhile, earlier Donaldson supporters staged a protest as Maitland appeared in court for her murder. They are against the granting of bail to Maitland. Courts want medical report of businesswoman accused of husband's attempted murder. A November 8 return date has been set for businesswoman Vanessa Johnson Lee to supply the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court with a medical report. Johnson Lee, who is charged with the attempted murder of her husband, is contending that she was the victim of abuse. Allegations are that she used her BMW motor car to hit her husband on Constant Spring Road, St. Andrew in 2021. It is also alleged that she had threatened to kill him. The accused, however, denied the allegations, claiming it was her husband who had battered her, resulting in her having to undergo surgery. This morning, when she appeared in court, a new mentioned date was scheduled for her to bring her medical report. Bail was extended by the court. King's Counsel Tom Tavares Spence and attorney at law Marcus Moore are presenting the accused. Boy dies in suspected suicide in Westmoreland. A young boy is suspected to have committed suicide in Manco Hall, Little London in Westmoreland on Tuesday morning. The Police Corporate Communications Unit (CCU) has confirmed the incident. The identity of the deceased is not yet known. However, unconfirmed reports are that the schoolboy graduated from the Little London Primary School in June of this year. Reagan King's Therapy is #1 in Cayman. Therapy, the lead single for Reagan King debut album of the same name, is the top song in the Cayman Islands according to Hot 104.1 FM. Produced by Reagan Trap Records, the song was released in August and has to date raked up more than 3.8 million views on YouTube. The album Therapy, which has songs produced by Hampton Music, Skybad Productions, and Caution Beats, was released September 9. It debuted at number 11 3 weeks ago on the Billboard Reggae Album Charts. It sold 750 equivalent album units in the United States according to Luminate. Of that amount, the streaming equivalent album units comprise 511, equaling almost 800,000 on-demand official streamed of the album track. Album sales comprise 230, and track equivalent albums unit account for 9. In an interview with reporters, Reagan King said he put maximum efforts into the 16-track project. A lot of work has been put into this album. Just by listening to it, all of the songs are truly relatable to a lot of circumstances like mine and other people out there in similar circumstances and situations, in the same way Reagan King disclosed. Songs on the album including Circumstances, Modest Life, and Broken heard the DJ chronicling life's experiences. Said Reagan King, all of the songs are from personal experiences and what people can relate to. The trauma that I've been through and everything that I have endured for the past 2 years, I put it into the album. St. James-born Reagan King is a former participant at the Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall Talent Competition. In 2018, he scored a hit with Tough, of that year's hottest songs. His subsequent hits include 3ZN, Circumstances, and Things Could Change. KSAMC awarded for public health leadership role during pandemic. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, is to receive one of 6 Regional Circle of Excellence Awards for its public health leadership role in the care of the homeless and vulnerable during the novel coronavirus pandemic. The award will be presented at the Fast Track Cities 2022 conference scheduled for Civil Spain from October 11 to 13, 2022. News of the award was delivered to Kingston Mayor Delroy Williams by the International Association of Providers of AIDS Care in partnership with the Fast Track Cities Institute. The decision to recognize the KSAMC was made following a nomination process and subsequent deliberations by IAPAC and Fast Track Institute in consultation with the Joint United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS. During this pandemic, the KSAMC opened a night shelter and an adult transitional facility for vulnerable groups. The KSAMC also partnership with USAID to raise awareness and champion the Fast Track Cities initiative in Kingston working to end AIDS. Additionally, the Municipal Corporation has been working with the Jamaica network of seropositives to create stigma-free spaces throughout the capital city. The seropositive network, which began in Trinidad in 1996, comprised people from various professions such as chefs, maintenance workers, counselors, and entrepreneurs who aspire, dream, and support each other. The KSAMC has also partnered with UNICEF on the moral focus on raising awareness and ending stigma, and has spearheaded an inaugural Lightning City Red campaign in commemoration of World AIDS Day. During the pandemic, the KSAMC also hosted vaccine drives and health fairs for vulnerable groups. Judge, former prison boss concerned about child offender rehab. A recommendation by Supreme Court Judge Justice Courtney Day that ongoing psychotherapy be part of the children care plan for the rehabilitation of the 17-year-old he last month sentenced to life imprisonment has once again spotlighted defects in the correctional system. Justice Day on September 24 sentenced Westmoreland teen who in 2018, at the age of 13, lured his 9-year-old neighbor and raped, buggered, and smote her throat to death, leaving her to be found by a search party of frantic community members. In handing down the sentence of the life imprisonment with eligibility for parole after 23 years and 9 months, Justice Day endorsed the recommendations of the psychiatrist that the teen should receive psychotherapy as part of the child care plan while in custody. In referencing a proposed amendment to the child care law, says where a young inmate is detained in an adult correctional center, the superintendent should have due regard to the best interest of the child and cause a child care plan to be prepared. Justice Day said, while retribution had to be part of the sentencing, rehabilitation also had to be taken into account. We have a recent legislation that is saying even if a young offender is going to get a time in the correctional institution or juvenile facility, there should be a child care plan, which is a plan to rehabilitate and reintegrate the person so that even when you have somebody who have committed a serious offense and you have to spend time, it means one has to think about what steps to take as part of the sentencing, the judge said. Presently, child care plans are developed for children committed to state facilities by the courts. The provision of those plans, however, is not mandated by law, making it so that no one can be held accountable in cases where none are developed. The preparation of a tailored plan is one of the main amendments to the Child Care and Protection Act, which is to be overhauled. Former Commissioner of Corrections, Major Richard Rees, in responding to the call by Justice Day, said though ideal, scarce resources might cause it to be outside the reach of those who need it the most. When a person comes into conflict with the law, and let's say they are awarded a custodial order or sentence, the individual is admitted to a receptional facility, they are assessed, and it's usually referred to a risk need assessment. After the assessment, that informs an intervention plan. After that plan is developed, you now have to execute it, but you don't have the ongoing assessment resources, you don't have the counseling services, and you don't have their intervention or rehabilitation regime, then the transformational journey may start, may not continue, Major Rees explained. He said this situation could make it so that at the end of an individual's order or sentence, either none or some level of assessment and intervention is done. So I think at the policy level and at the administrative level, we all have to be honest with each other to say that this is what should happen, but these are the gaps, and then seek to start filling them. Because those same children invariably become adult offenders, and it shouldn't be that it gets to a point where a child has some challenge and is still in the community to point out where another child loses their life, Reese told reporters. According to the former prison boss, early interventions are a necessity.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification